But if my guy quits, or I'm in a scenario here, I've got a hurt low back, and right away I've tallied up that just the turnover cost per employee, just to retrain this guy, I've got $2,200. Now these are current 2010 data that we could find anywhere here in Louisiana. It takes $2,200 to train your guy to now lift that brick properly, or to change that person out on that DOT job. So I eventually, if I want to move him around, I've got a cost involved here. But he's hurt. Now, remember my two scenarios, I had instantaneous response on behalf of that professional athlete and on behalf of that soldier. Instantaneous response. But here, we got to fill out a work injury claim form. And then there's forms on top of forms, and then I have this work comp nurse who's going to call and talk to that individual and pretty much identify that if we determine that this is a compensable case, we're going to take care, or we're going to do everything we can to make you whole when we determine that it's a compensable case on us. All right? You can see this is going downhill right now. But this is somehow, we're kind of losing this. I have a professional athlete that I'll do anything on this planet to make whole so he can play next week. I've got a soldier who's hurt. I will do anything to make him whole in 72 hours. And I have those resources. I have a human being who's working for the state of Louisiana who gets hurt, but all of a sudden I'm going to just throw down every roadblock I can think of in this work-related injury. And this guy's getting frustrated. Here's your claims manager on the other end. This guy is still waiting to know if he can be treated, and I've got 3 feet of paper over on the other end. Everybody had to weigh in on this, and I've still got somebody trying to decide, is this a compensable injury? So we take them out of the picture, and here is that supervisor. This wasn't the only guy hurt. Every next person up the tree is starting to pull their hair out because this fellow, this poor fellow here who got hurt and is feeling this, is just adding to the load that this one is responsible for. And this, again, why we're all here. This system is broken. But do we still see who the most valuable person is yet? Now remember, in the life of the sports athlete, it is that first contact individual. In the soldier, it's the first contact individual, those field medics. Most important people. Put their arms around them, we're going to make you whole. So far, nobody's popped up that wants to take that job. All right? And we're living this system right now. So we leave him to the system. And still, nobody has popped up yet to be the most valuable person. The primary discectomy on this individual, if we end up there, is anywhere from $10,000 to $14,000. That's the surgery. Goods and services in the hospital, $1,000 to $1,600. Diagnostics, injections, and drugs add another $2,200. Indirect costs, so that's the getting back and forth to doctor's offices, the extra donut at the house, or whatever it takes, indirect costs, $5,000 to $7,000. So my guy is about to impact, if I go down this pathway, about to impact into the system anywhere from $18,000 to $24,000. But as we will discover, this isn't such a good path to go down, because when that fails, I have to tack on another $8,000. When I have to repeat that one, I get another additional $6,900 for that patient. But now I've done it so many times, this is a wreck, and I have to do a fusion. Look at this. Just the fusion is an additional $63,000 to $86,000 for this brick lifting fellow. Associated complications, I get to add another $11,000. Associated complications, oh gee, I can't really control my bowel and bladder after that last fusion. Or, gee, I can't lift a brick now. I can't hardly lift my foot or my shoe, so I've got rehab to go through to take care of this muscular atrophy after the sciatic neuropathy. So we got quite a mess going on here. But still, nobody stepped up to be. I'm going to bring all the resources possible to make you whole. Hasn't showed up on the scene yet. So we've thrown, we didn't do this. This guy was not back to work. He did this on Monday. My athlete went back to work on Sunday the following week. This guy isn't back to work. He didn't go back to work on the following Monday with this low back. He didn't go back to work for 6 months, a year, 2 years. What the heck? It's still the same physiology from the athlete to my road worker here. What is it that's defeating this system? Well, the important individual still hasn't come onto the scene. The savior isn't there yet. And there he is. He pops in with the lawyer's contract to take care of him. And yes, he's the most important person now.